Melissa McCarthy gets divorced and heads back to college in Life of the Party. It's heartwarming, hilarious, and a fun watch. Melissa McCarthy plays Deanna, a stay-at-home mom whose husband suddenly asks for a divorce. So now she's left not knowing what to do, so she decides to finish her degree and go back to college. She goes back to school to the same college that her daughter is also a senior at. I really like the comedy in this. It had many, many laugh-out-loud moments. And for a PG-13 movie, I thought it was going to be a lot raunchier than it actually was, being that it's Melissa McCarthy and directed by her husband, Ben Falcone. But it actually wasn't. Now, there were little bits here and there that they tended to go slightly raunchy, and then they pulled back. So I was really happy about that because it stayed away from that, and it stayed really just center-of-the-road, good, funny comedy. The cast played off each other also really well, and so we got to see some good deadpan moments from some of them. Melissa McCarthy is really funny as she traverses through some awkward situations. Now, there is a scene where she is giving a presentation in her archaeology class, and she has this fear of public speaking. The level of awkwardness and tension that rises through this scene kind of rivals Kristen Wiig's toast in Bridesmaids, where you're just sitting there like, oh gosh, please make it stop. I can't watch, but yes, I'm going to because it's a train wreck and it's hilarious. And yeah, that's exactly what it was. You really feel for Melissa McCarthy in this because she played it so well. You could see the terror in her eyes and in her behavior, and then things don't also go right. And so she's just stumbling. And so we've all been in situations where we've seen somebody who just, oh gosh, those poor souls, they shouldn't be up there talking because they're terrible. And just somebody save them and let them go sit down. What's even better is that presentation scene is followed immediately by a scene in a restaurant. And let me tell you, laugh out loud moments, because it just escalates and escalates and escalates. And not only from Melissa McCarthy, but you have Maya Rudolph, who is playing her best friend, and she has got these one-liners and she steals the show in this scene. The comedy keeps building, the tension keeps building, and here's Maya Rudolph with zoom, zoom, and it's also kind of a deadpan thing. She just has this way of delivering her lines that really just zing somebody. And it was fun to watch. I really liked McCarthy in this because she was likable, she was caring, she was endearing, she was compassionate, she was heartwarming, and she was kind of, she was motherly, she was supposed to be, but it came across really well. Now, there were a couple scenes where she stepped outside of herself and the character stepped outside of itself, and it started to go down this path of this behavior or this talk that didn't match anything that we had leading up to it. But luckily, they turned that right around and got out of it, and then we continued on down the path that had already been established. A highlight of the film is McCarthy's roommate, Lenore, or Leonore. We actually don't know her real name. She's played with such great deadpan humor by Heidi Gardner from SNL. Just outstanding. She just kind of mumbles through her lines and is very understated, and she's truly a gem in this film. As I said, also, Maya Rudolph is hilarious in this. She just has a lot of great lines that she gets to deliver, and she's just kind of going over the top, but it fits her character really well. It's not this weird out of place over the top. It really works with her, and so every scene she's in, she tends to steal it. We also have Gillian Jacobs from Community. She is deadpan also in playing Coma Girl, and she just has some quirks in there that are really funny, and her humor gets to just shine in this. We also see Debbie Ryan, who gets to step outside her Disney Channel persona a little bit and act a little bit more grown up. Luke Benward is in this as Jack. The last time I saw him, honestly, that I remember was How to Eat Fried Worms. So it was kind of weird seeing him from a little kid to now like an adult. Overall, Life of the Party is really sweet and funny and heartwarming. I laughed out loud a lot, and I enjoyed it a whole lot more than I thought I was going to. I'm really glad I got to see it, and while I won't buy it, I definitely will watch it again. There's a little bit of sexual humor in it. There's no actual sex, but dialogue and stuff like that, and innuendo. There's a little bit of profanity, tiny bit of violence, no nudity. I give this 3.5 out of 5 couches. Have you seen it? What'd you think? I'd love to hear your comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.